Okay. This is Sounds of Awakening. A series of miraculous events are unfolding for us all. A series of miraculous events are unfolding for us all. Every day I find a way to keep my heart open. I know that sounds crazy, 'cause my heart seems so broken. I invite you to see and believe the darkest hour comes before the dawn. A series of miraculous events are unfolding for us all. A series of miraculous events are unfolding for us all. We can find comfort and we can find peace. Reflect on the way we give each day to happiness and freedom for all. The darkest hour comes before the dawn. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. A series of miraculous events are unfolding for us all. Oh, goodness, goodness, goodness. What a day of miracles this is. Today's Course in Miracles lesson is God's peace and joy are mine. And I'm telling you, this has been an amazing journey for me. Today actually is exactly 1 month since my husband, Reverend Glenn, left the planet. Today on the 14th, March 14th. It's been quite a roller coaster ride. But thank you, Rana. There's so much joy here too. You know, there's crying and all kinds of things, but there's so much joy. There's truth. God's peace and joy are mine. Thank you, Arizona. I love you too. I love this community. But you guys have really held me up during this time, and I love you so much. One thing I wanna share, because Sina's message was so beautiful to me this morning, and an interesting thing was I was on my way to the hospital the night that Glenn passed, and Sina called me while I was in the cab. Oh, thank you, Shauna. Thank you so much. So it was really awesome today when I realized that Sina was going to be giving the message, because it's exactly 1 month later. And what I took away from her message was so inspiring to me. And I can't remember if this was in the message proper or in the discussion after the homily, but she said, she gave us this quote. Well, she said, die, D-I-E, means dissolving into emptiness. That was really powerful for me. And she also said that the mind doesn't value the emptiness. So when I'm like, so that was really enlightening for me too, because, you know, when my mind starts doing all these tricks on me, like, you said something bad to Glenn when, and you never apologized for it or whatever like that, stuff comes to my mind, and what I know is that that's not true. First of all, those are just thoughts. However, the mind doesn't value the emptiness. So as I explore the emptiness from which everything comes, the void, Glenn would call it the chaos. He would say that from the chaos, from the darkness, from the void, from the emptiness, everything was created. So I found that very, very, very comforting. And before we're going to talk to Reverend Pamela here in just a second, but I really want to share with you what was in the Sufi course lesson for today that I was studying. There's one sentence right before this little story I'm going to tell you that says, the root of all suffering and misunderstanding is the excessive attachment to this I. Due to our obsessive identification with I, the truth is clouded or veiled, and that covering causes us to misinterpret what is happening. Life does not die, it only moves on to another place. That is, life is an ongoing process of change, continually transforming from one form to another. That is the mystery and nature of life. So in the workbook that we're using, there's this story, and it says, come along and listen to a conversation between two souls, one of whom is on the way to Earth, and the other is on the way back into the oneness. And perhaps you will remember that you too had a conversation much like this. So here are the two souls talking to each other. Are you coming back from a life on Earth? Yes, I just left there. I've heard others talking about life on Earth, but all of their stories have been entirely different. Can you tell me about that place? Oh, yes. Everyone has a different story about Earth. That is the beauty and wonder of life on Earth. It is a world of light and shadows, a place of contrasts, where each thing is known in comparison to its opposite, or more correctly, in comparison to its absence. So there is light, and there is lack of light. There is happiness, and there is lack of happiness. There is love, and there is lack of love. There are endless emotions and senses, such a variety of fragrances and tastes, so much to see and to touch and to feel. Oh, what a magnificent place it is. But what is the death that everyone speaks of? Well, on Earth, each thing comes into being, Then it exists for a while, and finally, in some way or another, its existence ends, just like a circle. We are sent out as emissaries of the oneness. We enter into life, we live a while, and then we move out of life and return to the oneness. Really, life never dies. It just changes its appearance. Life on earth is a never-ending parade of forms coming into being, existing for a while, and then amazingly changing into something else. Yet, life never dies. It just changes from one form to another form. But some people have said that they died a terrible death. Why would they do that? It looks dreadful, but it's really not all that bad. It's like a grand play. Everyone has a part to play, and even though we know that everyone will die, we never know just exactly how it will happen. The entire planet is an ever-changing construction zone, covered with volcanoes and earthquakes and floods and eclipses, and all sorts of ways that people can get killed. It is, all in all, a very dangerous place, and although the dying sometimes looks quite dreadful and everyone gets quite caught up in the drama, I really must tell you that, oddly enough, death is not really a problem for those of us who die. It is only the ones who live that suffer. What do you mean? Well, in my recent death, I was smashed under falling rocks. I was a monk living in the high mountains. I was really quite surprised when my death happened. An entire hillside came down right on top of me, and I was utterly smashed. Or rather, I should say that my body was utterly smashed. My body was in pain for a few moments, but then as I began the return to the oneness, I realized that it was a truly wonderful adventure on earth, and I would love to be able to go there again. Sounds like a rather strange adventure, but you seem so full of light and happiness. Yes, it really is delightful. You'll come out of your life with whatever you have put into it. So, if you put in love and kindness and beauty, then you'll come out with love and kindness and beauty. Those who put in something less than that, well, they too will come out with whatever they put in. The more you give, the more you get. It is really wonderful. But how could you enjoy a place where you got crushed under a pile of rocks? Are you insane? Clearly, you haven't been there yet. Even a few moments of life on earth are worth all of the annoyance and pain. Oh, just to feel love, to give love and to receive love, even for just a moment. Oh, that is so amazing. It is beyond words. The sights and sounds and feelings and fragrances of life are so amazing that it is worth any pain or any catastrophe to go there. As you can tell, I've not been harmed at all by the whole experience, and even after being smashed to death by a whole mountainside, and in fact, rather than being harmed, the whole experience on earth was a glorious blessing. If you get caught up in the drama and start to suffer, then just recall our conversation and recall how happy and whole I am after my adventure on earth. It is so wonderful. Even just a few moments of love, kindness, and beauty on earth are so exquisite that they are worth any price. Oh goodness, this story was based on the Sufi message of Harat Inayat Khan. Wow. That was really, it is a beautiful story, Marisol. It really is. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Rana. Wow. That just, that just really was a healing in my heart today. So I wanted to share that with you. And now I want to introduce you to one of my favorite people on the planet, Reverend Pamela Mann. There you are. Hey, Pamela.
Hi.
Hey. So, Pamela and I went to One Spirit Interfaith Seminary together. We were in the same class, and we've been friends ever since 2009, and just really great friends. And I've seen, Pamela, I've seen your ministry grow and change over the years. So, why don't you tell us, if you can, from where you are, you speak a little louder, perhaps, about your ministry and what your vision was for it, and where it is today. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Um, I've always been in service to others, and I actually heard the call to go to ministry when I was walking a labyrinth, and it was quite a long argument with Creator of like, you want me to do what? Me? Um, and I'm also an energy healer. I'm a Reiki master teacher, and so I do energetic healing, and I'm also an artist where I use a lot of energetic techniques along with it. And so for me, um, conventional seminary was not an option. So I just kept looking for something that could include all of the healing arts that interest me. And that's how I found One Spirit. And so, and I was also wanting to have conversations and dialogues with people of other faith traditions, where we had that safe space to ask questions without being stupid. And to learn about other people, and to really take God out of the box and really expand the presence of God in my consciousness. And so that was what led me to seminary. I also originally thought that I was going to be a congregational leader because I have been very involved in church and had been in various leadership roles. And then I started learning about all of the other things that ministers do. And upon graduation, I was not quite so sure about the role of being a congregational minister. And one of the quickest things that I could do to get actively started was to officiate weddings. And that is something that is such a delight and a pleasure to bring people together. And it engages my writing muse because I customize the ceremonies. And I realized that there was a growing need to have wedding officiants that wanted to work with couples that couldn't be married in a church or didn't want to be married in a church, and maybe they wanted a really simple courthouse ceremony, but I really like working with couples that want something spiritual, maybe religious, maybe not. And so that quickly became something that I found a passion and a gift for. And that is always my favorite part of the day, is when I get to marry someone. But this has also been a space for me to expand. It was after seminary that I actually became a Reiki master teacher. So I have, because that was another commitment to a way of living. It wasn't just a certification. It was and I had to really, really work with that. It was like 10 years after becoming a practitioner that I finally said, yes, I will become a master. And so I also got started with the vibrational sound healing because I come from a line of drummers, and was not allowed to be in band and practicing drums. And I think my parents were trying to have me go into a different direction versus what a direction that family members had gone in that wasn't the optimum for really for expanding your soul. And I kept thinking, well, it just skipped a generation because my son's a drummer, and I'm going, but oh, wait a minute. I always liked the percussion. And playing different vibrational sound tools fits right in with that. So it was like, okay, so I just am following my own drum beat, which is very different than the ones that have followed in my family line. So that's kind of how I got into it. And that was also part of learning about frequency and healing through Reiki, that I found the crystal bowls and the other vibrational tools. And I had experienced that healing on myself, and it was something that was so resonant. It's like, I need to share this with other people. And so that was, again, one of those processes where I kind of collected a few tools and played with it. And then last year, I finally said, I'm ready to commit to making this a regular part of my healing practice.
I am so thrilled about this whole journey here. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were with us last August. I believe that might have been your first sound bath in the public, or am I wrong about that?
It was. And then shortly after that, I did a couple of sound baths publicly on the road at a healing center up in Pittsburgh. So yes, this was like my launch into the world of sharing this gift with others. And it is just as delightful as it is when I'm officiating a wedding.
That's so lovely. Oh my goodness. It's just so wonderful, wonderful. So we're going to get right into your sound bath, because it's so the reason why I'm interviewing her before we do the sound bath is because I am so blissed out after we have this experience together, and I just want us to be able to leave the time slot, in that beautiful state. So let's see. I want to put your contact info. The best website to use right now for you, I believe you said, was heartstarceremonies.com. And Shauna, do you have that? Oh, okay, great. You'll put that in the chat. And you can also find Reverend Pamela on Facebook at Reverend Pamela A. Mann. That's her timeline. And also there's a Heart Star Ceremonies page on Facebook, I believe you said. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Also
So you know what?
I have a YouTube
Let's
page
go
for
ahead.
and there
Yeah.
are some sound recordings on that page, as well as some painting practices, and all of it is part of the healing arts work that I do.
That's absolutely wonderful. You are multi-talented. If I forgot to mention, Pamela creates paintings from the heart-centered paintings, which are absolutely gorgeous. So please, if you get a chance, go have a look at everything. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, my dear. Thank you for visiting with us today.
Thank you so much. I just would like to invite everyone to get comfortable. You can be sitting in a chair or lying down on the floor or couch or wherever you're most comfortable. And I like to begin a session, any type of healing session, with a dedication and intention for this time of healing. And it can be for yourself, or it might be for someone else, or for the world. And my intention is for the alignment and healing that is needed within this group, and anybody who will be joining us virtually after, whenever they view this. For me, this eclipse time was very, very powerful, of doing some deep healing and clearing work. And so I would like to dedicate this session to that further alignment and healing and balance that comes with that. And if anybody is still feeling a little crazy, maybe bringing some calmness and some peaceness to those strong energies as we are moving out of that shadow of it. So I invite you to just get comfortable and just enjoy.
Well, I think as we end this beautiful meditative experience, let's just take a moment to come back into the room. Take a deep breath. Maybe another breath. And one final grounding, centering breath. And if you've had your eyes closed, feel free to open them if you would like. So beautiful. Oh my goodness, I feel it still, just the healing vibration. I know you call this vibrational sound healing, and that's exactly how I respond to it. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Well, I think I'm going to end a few minutes early unless someone in the room has anything they'd like to share or say to Pamela. Barbara says, thank you, Pamela. That was beautiful. Thank you, Yolanda. What a gift. Thank you, Barbara. George says, thank you so much, Pamela. And David says, amazing. Thank you, Pamela. Felt like I was in another realm. I did too. I really felt like I was in another realm. I seriously did. Oh, what a glorious experience. Thank you, my dear friend. Oh, there's a question in the chat. Is there an opportunity for in-person sound baths with you for anyone in your area?
I live in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and so I can certainly do them. I also travel with them, and I can also facilitate through Zoom. And as you can see, we don't have to be physically in the same room because we are transported together through the vibration. And so I can certainly do it virtually as well.
That's so beautiful. It is so powerful. Yeah. So if anybody would like to experience this, with your church or family or whatever gathering, please get in contact with Pamela. Give me the best email for you, Pamela.
Sure. Pamela at Heart Star Ceremonies, and that's PAMELA at Heart HeartStarCeremonies.com.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to put that in chat. There we go. Ruby says thank you. Connie and Ellen say thank you. I say thank you. Namaste. Blessed be. And thanks everybody for joining us, and stay tuned for the rest of the evening. It's going to be a beautiful evening.